So this is the season finale, and there's going to be kind of a break between this season and the next one, because the second season will be me returning from California back east. And so season 1 was going from Florida to California, and I've been working the last few months out here in South Lake Tahoe, and it's been a lot of fun. So I apologize for the break in videos. I'll try and release a few here and there, but right now I just don't have anything else to release. I mean, we're here in California, we're done. But when I quit my job and I head back, I'm going to be hanging out here and just kind of showing you guys what it's like around here. But otherwise, the plan right now is to head east and stay in Florida for the winter and hunt hard, because I've built primitive bows and arrows and I really want to make use of them. Also, I've really been diving into how to edit things and how to shoot things, and so definitely gonna be upping the quality and upping the effort I put into the videos, because I really do want to make these great. I don't want them just to be good. I want to make them great. And so that's something that's kind of been driving me and something I've been researching while I've been here in Tahoe. So enjoy the last, a while, maybe a month at most. But here it is. Oh. Hold on, little buddy. Alright. So check out this little guy right here. I don't know what kind of scorpion this is. It might be able to kill me. I doubt it. But the important thing is that he's not focused on the hand that's holding him. And generally, scorpions that are kind of stocky, this guy seems kind of stocky. Generally, they're not quite as potent with their venom. But I don't know. This is really cool. We don't have a lot of scorpions in Florida. We have them, but personally, I don't ever come across them, hardly ever. So this is kind of cool. The first rock I flipped over has this guy hanging out under it. Woo! And it's just, so scorpions are arachnids, and which basically means they're related to spiders, which is really crazy, because they've got, they're basically nothing like a spider. They've got these big pinchers. They've got this tail with a stinger on the end. And man, they'll pierce right through your skin, inject venom, and it's gonna ruin your days. It's not gonna be very fun. But just amazing little creatures. And so generally the way they hunt is they'll sit and wait. And so they'll grab whatever they want to eat with their pinchers, and then when they're holding it there, they can bring their tail over and just whack and kill it. And then of course they'll slowly chow it down. But man, scorpions are cool. And this is a little bit of a rush for me holding this thing, because first time holding a scorpion. And they're like the icons of scariness. Like if these guys were any bigger, they'd probably take over the world or something. So what I'm gonna do here, very carefully, I'm going to put his rock back where we found it. And then I'm going to let him crawl under the rock, because we don't want to crush him. All right, so there you go, buddy. Oh, and there he goes, right under there. These California woods are pretty cool, but one thing I didn't expect was there's a lot of mosquitoes all over the place. I mean, it's about half as bad as it would be in Florida, but still. But what's funny is these mosquitoes are really slow, so they're just easy to kill. Whereas the Florida mosquitoes are like ninjas. I mean, they'll dodge your swats and stuff. So something I didn't really think about, because I figured there weren't mosquitoes out west, or there weren't many. But I mean, they're definitely around, definitely buzzing around. They seem to be a little bit slow to bite though. Now it is really dry, and this creek bed back here is mostly dried up. But where there are small puddles, there's just insects all over it. You get a lot of bees. Of course, mosquitoes are gonna breed in those little pools. And man, it seems like water is just really scarce. And wherever you do find it, there's just a lot of stuff utilizing that water. All right, so I have found my first snakes in California, and these guys were pretty much just right near each other. So I grabbed them both up to show you guys, because they do not want to sit still at all. And of course, these are garter snakes, and I'm not sure exactly what the species is, but I know that the garter snake we have back east ranges, that same species will range all the way out here to the west. So they may be the same species that I find at home, but definitely different subspecies, because these are very dark colored, which makes sense because here we're up in the mountains near Lake Tahoe, and so it's generally pretty cold around here, and there gets a lot of snow and stuff. And with the colder weather, this black is going to allow them to soak up heat a little bit quicker and thermoregulate a little bit faster than if they were lighter colored like the ones we have back east. But they've also got these awesome stripes down the length of them, and that's pretty typical of garter snakes. You're going to see a lot of striping, and they have these really interesting little, well, this one does anyway. This one has a little spot on the top of its head. This larger one, it has a spot, but it's not quite as vibrant. So we're just going to release them right back where I found them. This big guy was in a bush, and this little guy was right along these rocks here. And of course, being garter snakes, they'll eat fish, frogs. You know, they're pretty much generalists. They'll eat anything they can get in their mouth. And so this guy was in the bushes, so he may have been going for frogs. And this little guy was along the stream here, probably going for some little minnows or something. But awesome little snakes. And man, they just do not stop moving. So as always, we're gonna release these guys back into the wild where they can live, reproduce, and do everything that a snake is supposed to do. So this big guy here, he was in this bush right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him go right into the bush. Man, they just go in so easy. Now this guy, he was right here in these rocks, so that's exactly where I'm gonna put him. So let him slide in wherever he wants to go, that's where he goes. All right, so behind me on these rocks, there's just tons of petroglyphs. I mean, pretty much littered all on these rocks. Now what's really cool is nobody really knows exactly what they mean. They're not necessarily in the shape of figures. Some are, some aren't. And so it's just kind of hard to tell what the purpose was of these petroglyphs. Now this area here, this was a big area where people came through, they traded. It was kind of along the main path down to Lake Tahoe. And so as people moved in through this area, this would be a spot that they would stop. And it probably had some kind of spiritual significance, but again, we don't know. And so we can't really say anything for sure. Now the way these petroglyphs were done is very, very basic. They just took a hammerstone and they just would beat at a spot, and they just make little, I mean, just really faint grooves. And so we're having a problem now with the petroglyphs beginning to disappear because erosion and stuff will grind things down, and so they're not as apparent as they used to be, but they're still there, very visible. didn't fight a lot, which Eastern natives, that was basically a pastime, like fighting, being a warrior. That was what life was all about. So there's just a very unique culture here in the Sierra Nevadas.